Hey guys, Prince Mastodon here, and I'm going to show you the rules for this game coming up. And there's the rules, I just wrote them down for you. Alright, so this is a multiplayer commentary video. And I command the Romans, and my opponent is leader King Arthur of the Paladin clan in command of the Greek city-states. You can see that the unit scale is played on huge. And here's my Roman army. I've got 6 units of the legionary first cohorts, 6 units of urban cohorts, 4 units of Roman archers, and 4 squadrons of the Praetorian cavalry. And we'll look at the Greek city-state army of leader King Arthur. He has 6 units of Cretan archers, 10 units of armored hoplites, and 4 units of Spartan hoplites. And you can see that his general is a Spartan. And because this video is so long, I'll have to edit out a lot of bits of the first 5 or 6 minutes. Here is the skirmish phase. His 6 Cretan archers are more than a match for my 4 units of Roman archers. And in order to compensate, I'm going to send my cavalry in to harass that first rank of Cretan archers here. And he didn't back up, so I'm going to keep going in. I'll lose like 3 or 4 horses in the process because they're close to his spears, but that's it. I took out a lot of archers just then. Alright, so that's that. Now I'm going to bring up my heavy troops to start up the combat. And you can see that his first 2 lines of armored hoplites, they are put in loose formation. They're going to try to soak up my Pila. But I knew what he was doing, so I only sent 2 units of my legionary first cohorts in, so that my entire army didn't waste her Pila. So I'm going to make this an attritional battle. Alright, later on you can see my guys are engaged in the front ranks now. And my first unit in the combat was my general unit, and he was in command of a legionary first cohort. Alright, so this is the action here. You can see a little overhead. My guys are in column formation on the left and right flank, and that was to make my movement easier. Because it's played on huge, the battle lines are outrageously long, so I use column. Alright, I lost my general there. I was trying to back up, but in doing so, my general bit the dust. Oh well. Maybe I'll use decimation on my cohorts later for letting their general die. Alright, action on the extreme left flank here. He brought in his first unit of Spartans, and they're doing well in holding back my left flank advance. Now I brought my Praetorian cavalry back here. I'm going to try to go for a strike on his Cretans, but just then my opponent, he concentrated his fire on my first squadron of Praetorian cavalry, and that wreaked a lot of havoc on my dudes there. I think in 2 volleys, my guys went down to 60-something men, all the way from 100 plus horses. And there, those Cretans actually routed that 2nd squadron of Praetorian cavalry. And here's the action on the left. We're still duking it out. My opponent brought in this Spartan unit right here. I surrounded that unit of armored hoplites, but this unit of Spartans are coming in to deal some business with my Romans. Here are my Praetorian horses. They came back from routing, and they took out some Cretans. But I'm going to make them run away again, and into the backs of that unit of Spartans. So my main effort is on the left flank right here, which is my opponent's right flank. But I want to work my way up here and then roll down his flank. But because this is played on 30,000 denarii, it's going to be a very big grindy battle. And if you hadn't noticed, my opponent's using a lot of experience upgrades. That's why he has less mini flag upgrades shown. But the experience upgrades are actually a lot. They only show up as 1 little flag though. Alright, he brought in 2 more units of Spartans to his right flank, which is my left flank. So he sees the danger that his flank's in. And I'm going to use my Praetorian cavalry to create some imbalance in my opponent's lines here. There's my urban cohorts. They're finally in the action. I had my urban cohorts stationed in the 2nd rank, and they were going to be my reserve line. And my first line was composed of the legionary first cohorts. In bigger money, I like using the legionary first cohorts because there's so many so many guys in each little unit. Alright, there, I lost my Praetorians again. So they seem to keep routing, but they keep coming back. And you can see I've engaged my opponent's center right flank as well. After discharging my pila, of course. Alright, so to the action here. And yeah, there was no restriction on having the same type of units. That's why my opponent has 10 units of armored hoplites, which is fine with me, because the Romans have some really killer infantry as well. But at 30,000, both of these armies both have a good set of infantry selection. All right, finally, I got these Cretans unopposed and unprepared for my cavalry charge, and finally I'm taking out these Cretans now. Like at the beginning, they were like completely burning my horses, like left and right. But now I got them where I want them. And serves them right. And right now, my opponent isn't concerned about his archers anymore. I have no more archers either. But my opponent's more concerned with his infantry line, because I am pouring on the pressure. And my opponent brought back some armored hoplites to face my Praetorians. And he's gonna keep pressing forward there. And when he turned his hoplites backwards like that, I decided to rush him from behind with my my legionary first cohorts. So I'm gonna maintain pressure everywhere. And whenever he turns around with his phalanx troops, I will hit them from the other side. Because as you know, their strength is their front. And look at this big grinding mess here. It's like armored hoplite and Spartans versus legionnaires. And at big money, it's a pretty good fight. Alright, now I'm going to start harassing his back line, now that my horses are free, and there, that was a faked charge. So I stopped charging them, and then when his guys turned around, I hit them from behind with my legionnaires. And then I brought my cavalry back to strike those Spartans right there. So that's the beauty of cavalry, you can trick your opponent out. And when he puts his guard down, then you can hit him from behind. They're going to charge into his armored hoplites in the center. So yeah, you can see that this battle is definitely not a finesse battle. It's very attritional. Lots of grinding action here. And whenever I go for these charges, my opponent brings his phalanx troops backwards to try to get my horses. If I were him, I probably would have not paid so much attention to my horses. I mean, in some cases yes, but I don't think it's worth bringing back 2 Spartans to chase after those horses. But I think the real threat here are these are my legionnaires right now. You can see some of his armored hoplites are trying to run away from the battlefield. So I have gained the upper hand. Yeah, whenever you play these big money battles like this, it's the little advantages that lets you win. But whenever you play like lower money battles, like almost any kind of action can be very decisive. But here, like even a decisive strike might not lead to any result. There it did, but because there's more upgrades and because they're more affordable, your troops can last a little bit longer. Actually, a lot longer. Alright, over on the right you can see my opponent has 2 Spartan units and an armored hoplite unit, and they're going at it with 4 of my troops, and I got 2 more units to join in the fight here. So his guys aren't going to last too much longer now. Even though those are Spartans, he still is contending with a lot of my guys. And there's his general right there. And I've been fighting most of this battle without my general, which in my opinion is okay, because I always lose my general anyways. And now my opponent's going to lose his general. So, looks like we're both without leaders here.
The enemy general is killed. Fear makes a home in our enemy's hearts.
So, I got tons of troops left still. So that's why I have the big advantage right now. Like, I started off with a small advantage, but then it became a bigger advantage. Alright, you can see another of his units are starting to rout. And yeah, I typically don't play these big money battles. I just don't like them because it makes a lot of the factions unplayable. Like, you wouldn't even think to use a faction like Dacia in a big money battle like this, because they'd just be pretty much useless. Alright, so my opponent's down to two healthy units. I got tons of units still. Anyway, at about this point in the game, my opponent asked me if I wanted to join his clan, but I politely refused, and shortly after, my opponent decided to terminate the game. So you're not going to see the result right away. I had to go back and turn fraps on so I could record the battle result screen. So there, replay finished. Now I gotta switch to my live footage here. So I will save my replay really quick. And you can see how I name my replays. I name it by the battle number, and then the matchup, and if it was a win or loss, and how much money was played. So I will let you guys read the results yourselves, and good game to my opponent.